All right, and there we go. We are underway. Well, everybody, thanks so much for joining me tonight. I appreciate you taking the time. I hope to make this as quick as I can, but I did buy a premium count again just today, just in case we go over 40 minutes. So make sure we get everything we need to get done, and make sure you guys feel comfortable about what you're knowing with Oz and what to expect as we move forward. So once again, if you haven't met me yet, I think I've met most everybody here, but if you haven't met me, my name is Tom Miazga. I am the site head coach for the Whitefish Bay site of Ozaki Aquatics. I myself have been here, and we started this program back in 2018. So we are very excited to be, about 3 years, more like 2.25 with the COVID year underway here. And we are bursting at the seams right now this fall. It's been a fantastic start. The kids have been great. And we just love seeing a full busy pool again. So really cool. Excited to give you a chance to be here back in some sort of normalcy for these kids and have another place to socially interact and enjoy the pool. I myself have been a part of Ozaki Aquatics for longer than I can remember. I think I started swimming for Steve Keller, the owner, when I was in his 2nd grade class, and it's been a long cycle of love-hate relationship ever since. It's been a lot of fun and a lot of growing together, and we figured out some great opportunities, and now here we are. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get going. I know there's a lot that we want to talk about. A couple things I want to make sure you're aware of on the website as well. So I'm going to be in and out of showing me. I'm going to show my screen, which is going to be the website. And so that if you have any questions, I'm going to show you exactly where to navigate to get a lot of our important things like schedules, our team store. You can take a look at where the fees are, how to sign up for an event, how to sign up for a job commitment, lots of good things. Before I take over pretty much for the night, I want to introduce real quick Nancy Drabot. She might be in your top corner screen like she is up there with me. Nancy is the wind beneath all of our wings here at Oz. She is our guardian. She's our life angel. She's everything. Nancy is our team treasurer. She handles everything behind the scenes. She's the dry side of the program. So when you got your account verified, she was the one doing that. If you have billing fee questions, she's the one that you'll work with on those. She'll be sending plenty of emails about sessions and when withdrawals happen and when new session starts and who needs registration. So Nancy, you want to take a quick minute and say hello?
Sure. Hi, everyone. So I can see, it's really nice to be able to see people because last year we didn't do this. And I think it's great. Personally, it helps me when there's a face with a name. So if you ever have a question about, like Tom said, anything dry, I don't coach, but I do all the billing, I do registration, I do anything admin. So if you ever have a question that has nothing to do with coaching, but has to do with your bill or your account or something, just let me know. And I'll be sending for any of the people that are new families this year, I'll be sending an email out in the next week or so, just following up who I am, what kinds of things I do, so that you know who to go to for these types of things. Other than that, I don't want to take any time, just let you know that. And then if something comes up, I can, add something, but I think Tom's got this down pat.
Cool. Thanks a lot, Nancy. Yeah, she's the best. So if you need anything dry side, please let her know. And in the same light, if you need anything wet side, if you have any questions about anything with practices, meets, what your kids are swimming, how well your kids are swimming, what are they doing, need some feedback, just feel free to send me an email. I'm on my email like your kids are on TikTok. So I'm just flying through that thing all the time. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to share my screen right away. I want to talk about our website, make sure you guys feel acquainted with this and you know what's going on. So first thing to know, I want to point out right away that I am already logged into my account. So up here in the top right corner, right, you can see you see my name there. Make sure that when you ever do really need to access the website, you're probably logged in. There's a couple of things that we hide on purpose, that it's member only. So when you do log in, you can only see them that way. Just a general run through our website here. A lot of you have already figured out this is our big register here button in the middle. This is where you first started. We have our practice schedules available to you all the time here on the left. New member information for a lot of you new folks this year, just some good things to learn about within getting the eval set up and what's next, along with a link to our events and swim meets page. Any of those are obviously your big 4 buttons. If you look on the mobile version of this, those come up pretty fast as well. So you can't really miss them, just a quick little scroll and you're right there at the same thing. We have our team feed over here, this is like our Twitter site. So whether it's me or Steve or Nancy or Mark, whoever's posting, anything on our Twitter page will come up here as well. We love to shout out for, you know, college commitments, fun things that we're doing, whether it's, you know, somebody getting a big first place medal at a meet, all those good things get shared on that social media because we know a lot of kids like to follow that stuff as well. All of our latest news is here as well. You often get these as emails as well. So it's kind of a double dip here. So if you feel like you missed the email, you accidentally deleted it, you don't know where it is, all of those news pieces come here as well. They're all clickable, accessible as you need to, and plenty of updates there. So whether it's something like missing, like a practice has to cancel suddenly, that will come through an email or a push notification. That probably won't be on the team news section. We want to try and find a more immediate way to make sure you guys know of that. A little bit more of a scroll down, and this is where you'll find all of our upcoming events. So we are starting to put together our meet schedule finally. We're getting to a place where WIAA is, or Wisconsin Swimming, start to sanction all these events, and we're getting them approved, and we can actually go for it. So one thing I know is that all schools right now are a little bit different with their mandates on masks and their COVID protocols. So those will be made available to you as we know them as well. The more often we go to some pools, the more, you know, comfortable we'll be with it. We'll be at Schrader quite a bit, which they are wearing masks right now. We're obviously wearing masks here in Whitefish Bay, but at Homestead they are optional right now. So it's that's one thing to note as we go to a lot of our hosted meets at Homestead. So again, you can kind of see them as they're coming up here. Our first true meet will be October 2nd, about 2 weeks away. You've already actually seen a couple emails probably about that pop by, that we're looking for that registration deadline for those. So I'll explain that in just a little bit more. And that's about it. It's real simple as far as the website is concerned on the main page. A couple places that you'll access a little bit more, mostly starting here with your member information. Okay, this is, again, we're going to have a little bit more opportunity when you're logged in. So first off, we have our practice schedules here. Again, if you click this, you're going to be able to see our practice schedules. They are all coded by our different pools. Again, here's our Whitefish Bay one down here. So our seniors, that's for our senior 1, 2, and elites. Our age group practice schedule, you just give it a click and there you go. And I'm taking this opportunity to remind you, no practice for the age groupers tomorrow as we have a meet. So no practice here. We'll see you again Wednesday. So these will always be updated. I'll try and get October. You see Mark's already got October up there. I will definitely try and get October or the next month up with a week prior to the next month arriving, so you can get it all set up and ready to go. Another good link you'll see here is our equipment and team store. I know I'm getting a lot of questions about what should my kids get? What should they get? You know, do they need a warm up? Do they need a team suit? This is your hub right here to go to that. So if you click equipment/team store, it will take you right to our Elsmore Swim Shop site. They are conveniently located both in Brookfield and just across the street down at the Schrader YMCA. They have a nice little store inside there. So if you need anything, it usually comes pretty quickly. If you can see, if you click that link, it gets you to Oz specific things. This is our team store directly. You can't really access this from the Elsmore website. So always go through our website to get there. The nice part is that any purchase that you make, we get 5% back to the club, which is pretty cool. So it helps us out too. Again, all of our team suits are available here. We have plenty of equipment like goggles, swim bags, pull buoys, fins, kickboards, your warm-up jacket, anything you may need. I know we've been getting a lot of questions about what test size fin a kid should wear. So we want the kids to get these Triton swim fins are really nice. The longer version of the fin is good for the little kids. And if you're somewhere around, like, let's say a size 6 shoe, you're going to want a size 5 to 7 fin. So you always try and put your shoe size in the middle of a range. Usually fin sizes are like 1 to 3, 3 to 5, 5 to 7, 7 to 9, 9 to 11, and so forth. All the odd ranges there. You know, if you want to get them a little bit bigger, that's probably good. A lot of our age grouper kids are growing, so they're going to grow out of those fins pretty quickly. But again, all of your team needs are here. We do not require any team suits for practice. We would encourage kids to wear a team suit for meets. Obviously, we know that's not always the most convenient thing for everybody right away, but again, they're there available for you. And we'd love to see that Oz being represented anywhere we can. A little bit more for you as well here. Just again, some more meet information. Now that our meet schedule is kind of coming together, I can get that put up there for you. So I will have a PDF, like I said, of the fall 2021. Now that we have meets getting approved, we'll get that up there so you can print that off. You kind of have an idea of when meets are coming around. We have all of our different meets pool directions here. So we have most of the pools that we go to here are available that you can just click. They're going to take you right to a Google Maps link. You can plug it into your phone and Siri can take you there. Also, too, we just have a couple little more things like our resources page here. So there's plenty of club-related materials here where we're talking about our transfer forms, if you're needing a scholarship for your fees, our team handbook, any code of conduct, and then just some good parent education articles. Lots of things about nutrition, sleep, mindset, how can you help your kid while they're the ones swimming and you're being the parents, all those good things. We like to update those as we find good reads and keep them as relevant and current as we can. So just in the basic front, is there any questions about our website as we look at it right now? Anything that I can answer? Again, if you have any questions, feel free to show me or type it in the chat as well. Chat question. Sorry there. Oh, Nancy sending out some information there for you. So yeah, just take a look at that. Got some discounted items already. One thing to know as well that we will be having a Elsmore visit on November 3rd. So right before the holiday, the Thanksgiving holiday there, it's a really good time to actually get those things if you're looking for Christmas gifts. So there'd be like our Oz towels, our Oz parkas. You want to get them a new set of fins, a new kickboard, or a swim bag. They'll be here on deck. We can get you sized out and get you any new equipment that you need. And of course, always, if you're buying things and you're waiting for it to come, we have all the equipment that your kids would need in the meantime. So just good to have your own things too, because if you say we go to Homestead for a practice, or you need to travel to a meet and you want to have your stuff, it's just nice to know that you have your own materials as we go forward. Great. So one more thing I know has been asked about a lot is kind of our session breakdown. So just a quick here look at our fees page under the team info. You're going to see here's our breakdown of our sessions. So right now we are in our first fall session right now. This is part of our short course season, session 1A, right? We just started here September 1st, and then we're working all the way until around Thanksgiving. As most of you already know, we do have monthly installments, but we don't have a monthly subscription to Oz. You basically commit for the whole entire session, and then we can expect that you'll be billed on the first of each month for that session. Let's say then in the wintertime, you're going to play hockey, we got ice skating, you're going on the ski team, and you're not going to be able to swim. We'll send out around that Thanksgiving time, a little bit earlier, a withdrawal form. Like Nancy will create a big Google form, and if you decide that, hey, we're going to take the winter off, you'll just fill out that form. We'll know to turn your account off, make it dormant through what would be then session 1B, the 29th of November, all the way until March. That's a 4-month installment. At that point, we take a little break for spring break, give our kids a little R&R and our coaches some much needed R&R, and then we'll return again for what's our long course season, which if you're new to the swimming world, right now everyone's swimming in a 25-yard pool. Our long course season is when we race in a 50-meter pool. So it's basically 2 lengths put together and some change. So definitely a different element, but that's what you see the Olympians racing at the Olympics this past summer, and any of our big national level meets are usually long course in the summer as well. So we'll run pretty much a end of school session from April to May, and then we'll have a big session there from the summertime, May until August. Our August time is always dependent on when pools close around us, and we try and accommodate as best we can, but sometimes we can't always get the best of luck there. So, sorry, I'm just seeing some questions. I will answer some of these questions here in a minute, but they are on my mind, do not forget. I just want to make sure I don't lose my place where I'm at. So this again is our fees, our session breakdown. So if you decide ahead, you know when you're going to take breaks, please just keep that in mind. Awesome. We come back to the website again. So let's come on down. Let's take a look. We have some swim meets coming up pretty quick here. So when I look at our events section right here, again, I'm logged in right now. And so that's why I'm seeing this edit commitment button. So if you're not logged in, you will not see this edit commitment button. And the sign up for a swim meet is a pretty easy process. If you come down here, let's say I'm going to go to the Rocket Aquatics Open. This is over at Germantown High School. I'm going to click the edit commitment button. When you do this as well, you'll see all these things pop up as well. And then underneath here, you're going to see where it says that my name, right? I'm an active member. I have a few more things up here that you may not see because I have different admin levels than you. But if I click on my name or your swimmer's name down here, it says I'm currently undeclared. All I need to do is come here, declaration, say, yes, please sign Thomas up for this event, or no, we will not attend. If you don't plan on attending, don't feel obligated to come and say no. We obviously get the hint that when you don't sign up, you're probably not coming. But if you are intending to swim, please definitely do click yes. Okay. When you do select that, this note section here will allow you to then choose, say, maybe you have family commitments and that you can only swim Saturday. Like this would be a place to put like swimming Sunday only, please. All right. And so then we would know as coaches that, hey, we can't put, Joey in events on Saturday, he's only going to swim Sunday. Or if there's specific events you'd like us to have your kids be swimming that weekend, you can write events in there, like let's swim the 50 freestyle, the 100 back, and the 200 IM. You put those in there like that, we will know to put those kids in those events. Obviously with coach's discretion too, and the fact that if they've been swimming the same races over and over and over again, we want to try and branch out. We want to try some new things. We want to make sure that they understand that they're not a one tool swimmer, that we have ability to swim everything. You'll simply click the Save Changes button, and then you're all good to go. Obviously, I didn't do anything, so that's why it didn't come through. But we will then see it from our end. We will know that you guys are committed. Again, we can see that we've already got some committed athletes here, so that's great that we're already seeing some kids sign up. If you decide not to sign up for or decide what races to choose, we will choose those as coaches for you based on what we see in practice, things we like to see them try, things that maybe they're really excelling at already, and get them committed in that regard. Let me stop sharing my screen there for a second. Any questions regarding swim meet sign up right away? I'll then take a second and go back to the other questions.
I just have a question, like about the younger kids. Are there like my son Elliot? He swam at Schrader for a little bit, and there were a lot of meets that he couldn't participate in. So like they would send an email saying, hey, he can participate in this if you want him to. Like, are we to assume that they can do any of those meets or?
That's a good question. So typically in the description of the event or right there in the header, you'll see that it's like a senior only event or 12 and under only event. So if it's a 12 and under event, any kid under the age of 12 is welcome to come. There are going to be a few meets that we have qualifying standards for where they have to have a certain time in order to compete in the meets. But for the most part, a lot of our meets, especially in the early bit of the season, will be open to anybody. So if you don't see any age specific thing, you'll know that it's open for any age groups. Most meets will have like a 13 and over session and then a 12 and under session, or vice versa, depending on who's running it and how they run it. But you'll be clearly able to see who's a welcome to that meet and who's not. Yeah.
Okay. And then we do not have to pick the races. We can leave that up to you guys, you said, right?
Absolutely correct. Yep, we can choose races for you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you bet. Thank you.
Do you want to mention some? There was a question about what time is the meet, and I wonder if you want to tell people where to find meet information.
Exactly. I was just going to do that next. I saw that question. So great minds think alike. So I'm going to share my screen again. I'm going to come back to our website here. Excuse me. Sorry. Oops. Oh, that's right. It's over here. That helps. Let me stop sharing that. Restart. Sorry. All right. Here we go. So what time does the meet start, right? Well, if you just actually click this, see how as I have where it turns blue. If you can't, maybe because of computer logistics, it does. Click on it. Right. And as it opens up, it's going to pop up this extra little screen here, and you're going to see all of your meet information. So we don't have all the info yet, as you can see, but we can already tell you that the AM session is going to be for our 8 and unders and then our 13 and overs. You can expect this to be an often combination. There's not often a lot of 8 and unders at meets, and they're just a lot easier to put in the morning session with the kids who typically know what they're doing at a swim meet, right? The older kids. Those 9 and 10 and 11 and 12 sessions can get pretty busy and pretty bustling, and a lot of volunteers are already trying to stage and help out kids in that regard. So it's just a little bit easier to give the 8 and under some space there. So again, you can see we don't know all the times yet. You'll see down here, I'm not going to click this link, but this is where the meet information is as well. We will have all that timeline, all the session reports, all those things we post on here under this description or the forums section. So you'll see in a couple of days, or when we get closer to the meet, Coach Mark or whoever's doing it will post another email that says, hey, all meet info for the Rocket Aquatics meet is up and available. And that will include, like, you can expect when your child's going to swim, how long you're going to be at the pool that day. Again, an event report. So what are they swimming? All those good things, all that'll be available here on this section. So you just close it out and then you're right back to where you were in the first place.
Can you click on the PDF so people can see what that looks like?
Sure, no problem.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, so if I click here again, and then I hope this shows up on my screen, but when I click here, again, you're gonna see this is the meet info. Pretty much all meets now are starting with some sort of COVID guidelines here in the beginning. This doesn't have any specific guidelines of what Germantown is doing that day, but this is basically their COVID waiver that a lot of kids will need to sign. Most of it's done electronically now or on a Google form. So that again will be available to you as you go. If you scroll down, you can see all of our timelines here. So we already noticed that our session in the morning will start at a warm up at 7:30 and the meet will start at 8:30. And then our session 2, the afternoon session, will start within, the timeline will work out where they usually start warm-ups relatively quickly after the morning session is done. And then again, the meet will have 1 hour of warm-up before the afternoon session. Those kind of information, those specifics will be made out later as all the entries get piled in and Germantown can configure all of that. As you scroll down, most of the places you're going to look are going to be right here. So we have our event session, our event list. So if you want to decide what your kids are swimming, you want to take a look at what you want them to swim, this is your hub to go find that. Again, our 8 and unders and our seniors are swimming in this morning session. The 11 and 12s and 9 and 10s are swimming in the afternoon session. And this is a really good first meet if you're interested in getting your kids involved right away. Lots of 25s and 50s. It's a really good kind of short sprint meet. So we're not getting really involved in crazy long races yet. We're doing races that kids are able to manage right now at their current training pace. So this is just a great place to check out what events you want them to swim. And if not, again, we'll choose them for you. Okay, don't worry about the waiver here or anything like that. That's all taken care of by coaches and entry forms as well. Okay, seeing a couple questions pop in. Oh, that's just Nancy again. Any other questions I can help you with on meets?
Yeah.
Yes.
Again, is there any Quiet. Sit down. Sorry. Is there any expectation around the number of meets that swimmers are expected to participate in that we should keep in mind as we make selections?
Sure, good question. I think I would often tell you that we'd love to see our kids participate in our home meets as much as possible. We understand that obviously not everybody's gonna be able to attend every single one, but those are a great place for us to have a good showing. They're around a lot of familiar coaches and familiar friends at a pool that they know well. So those are always a great place to start. But beyond that, we don't really have a true requirement of how many meets, especially in the age group side, a kid should be doing. From a coach's standpoint, meets are a great place for us to see our progress and our benchmarks grow. Oftentimes when we're in practice, we don't think about racing the same way that we would in a meet. So the more often we can get to a meet and kind of realize, some glaring things we need to work on, or we see some incredible improvements, I'd love to see our kids, especially in our junior group, racing at least once a month. I think it'd be a really good opportunity for them. Again, all of our meets are pretty close by, so it shouldn't be hopefully too much of an inconvenience to get them over there, even for just a day. So no true requirements, but obviously we'd love to see our kids compete at least once or twice, just so they have an idea of what they're really training for.
And by home meets, you're referring to meets happening at Homestead, right?
That would be correct. Yep. We're gonna try our best to get a couple meets at Whitefish Bay as well, kind of work that stuff out. I'm thinking about trying to plan some sort of a little inner squad at home, Whitefish Bay, like I did last season, to kind of help kids get ready for meets too and have an idea of what they look like. So more to follow on that. But yes, most of our home meets are at Homestead.
Thanks.
Thank you. All right, so those are really pretty straightforward as signing up for meets. Again, you'll see that we post entry deadline emails about 2 weeks before. I think we got an email, if I'm not mistaken, yesterday about that already. So the Rocket Meet, hello, long day. Rocket Meet is going to be due by the 19th. So next Sunday, which is 2 weeks before the meet, is when we need your commitment for that meet. So if we don't have a commitment, there may still be a chance to get you in there in the 2 weeks in between that deadline and the meet starting. But meets will probably be a busy thing again this fall. So we want to make sure we get those in early. Yeah, cool. So you'll see, it's a double-edged sword. It's great that there's a lot of communication, but there's a lot of communication about meets sometimes. So there are lots of emails go out. So I know it can be tedious to look at them, but oftentimes please do read them. There's always good information, and you might miss something if you just kind of blow it off like a Target ad or something like that. So yeah, keep reading those things. Great. So if we're good with that, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next section, and we're just talking about our volunteering requirements. Can
I say something?
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
Can I just say one thing? If if you go ahead and sign your swimmer up for a meet, like Tom said, the coaches will send a couple, several emails out just saying, okay, these are the final entries. Make sure you take a look. Is my child on there? Did I sign them up? Are they, are they on there? And if they are on there, are we still committing to that meet? You may have, put your son or daughter or, kids down for that meet and then realize, oh, we can't do it anymore. And just so you know, Oz, as soon as those meets are final, we submit those entries to the hosting team and we have to pay them for what we have, we have told them that we're going to have swim. So once those are final, if something should change, you are still committed. And if you don't show up, the meet fee is still paid by you. So just be really careful if plans change, if you can't remember, did I sign them up for the meet? I forgot. Please make sure you take a look at those emails and communicate if you can't be there anymore once you've said, yes, I am committed to this meet. So just so you know, like I said, Oz pays your fees on your behalf, and then those meet fees that are billed to your account just a couple of days after the meet is finished. Okay. Thanks.
Cool. You can kind of expect too that with a swim meet, there's a couple different fees that go with it. So there's a splash fee, there's a swimmer entry fee, and then a fee per event. So if just kind of on a heads up with that, usually events are somewhere like anywhere from like $4 to $7 or $10 per event per swim. So you can kind of you can ballpark basically how much you're going to be paying for each meet if you just want to plan ahead as well. And that will be billed, like Nancy said, to your account, which will be then added on to that next monthly charge. So cool. All right. So volunteer requirements. All right. We have a few hosted meets across the year. The first one being our Swim Your Own Age Fall Classic in the middle of October. I believe that's the 15th through the 17th, if I'm not mistaken. And that's going to be our first big hosted meet for the year. This is we call it 5 sessions because there's one session of swimming on Friday night. And then like you saw in that PDF there, or the meet info, we'll have an AM session of usually our older kids in the morning and then our little kids in the afternoon. And then the same thing on Sunday as well. So it gives you a total of 5 different opportunities where we need some help. These meets these are long weekends for us coaches and admin friends because we're there the whole time and we really do need the help. It's one of those things where there's helping us time behind the blocks, you're helping with the awards table, you're helping at the concession stand. There's a lot of different pieces that make these meets run successful and seamless to the crowd. So you can kind of expect that we host usually around 3 or 4 of these a year. Obviously the first one being here in October. We typically host a regional meet in the springtime. And then we also host a, Nancy, I'm drawing a blank here. When do we host our other, do we have a winter classic as well, or is it a summer?
We have the fall classic, and then we have a big 8 meet in January.
Big 8, yep.
Yep, that's at Cedarburg High School. And then we host our regional meet, and that's in February.
And then we have our spring classic.
And then we have our spring classic.
Perfect, yeah. Okay, thank you. So about 3 or 4 meets every single year. And when it comes to those requirements, we are looking for parents to volunteer for 2 of the 5 sessions in those 3-day meets. So that means that you could volunteer for the Friday PM session and maybe the Sunday AM session. You could volunteer all day Saturday, do the AM and the PM, and you're done. You could do all day Sunday. You could do the PMs on Friday and Saturday. You could do any combination of 2 sessions to help us out. Now, when we come to those, there's a lot of things that you can help with, whether it be actually donating physical food to the concession stand, that counts as helping out with the session. Whether it's working at the meets, like I said, helping us with a timer, working with the scorers table, being a meet marshal, making sure that things are getting cleaned up before and after the meet. There's a lot of easy, simple jobs you can be taught on site, and they're also a great way for you to be there watching your children swim at the same time. When it comes to these sessions, right, we are looking for a full group commitment. So even though you may not be participating in the swim meet, right, we are looking for any current membership to help out with these causes. An easy way, if you're finding that you're not going to be able to be attending the meet, say you have another kid's soccer tournament in Illinois or something else going on, you can simply provide us a donation check as well that we would use for concession stands. That's typically $25 per session or $50 if you want to do both. So a $50 check would cover you for the weekend that we would use to help buy extra food, hot food, bagels for the hospitality room for our officials and their coaches, whatever it may be. These all just help us make sure that we can run this meet smoothly. If we do not have any sort of declaration from you for volunteering, there is a $50 per session fee that you can expect to your account. So, if you can't make it and you can't help out somehow, it's a lot easier just to donate a $50 check to help concessions rather than getting billed an extra $100 total, an extra $50 at the end of the next meet. So again, this all just helps us make sure that we can run this meet smoothly. We can make sure that every need is being met by coaches, swimmers, officials, whatever it may be. It really does go a long way, and we appreciate your help in that regard. These are only true for our home meets. So anytime we go to like a meet at, say, Germantown, like this meet, the Rocket Aquatics, there is no volunteer requirement. It's only for our hosted meets. So that's the only time you have to focus on these things. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen again because I want to make sure that you have an idea of what to expect. So let me come back to the front page. Nancy, can we see the front page right now?
Yes, I see it. Yep.
Okay, great. I want to make sure. Sometimes it doesn't always transfer over. So what I've done already, and this is not truly open yet, and please don't follow these exact jobs because this is not going to be what it is. There's a lot more to it. But you'll notice at our Ozaki Aquatics Fall Classic Swim Your Own Age meet here, beyond the edit commitment, I put up a job sign up button. So this is where you can go to sign up for your job. So if you click this button, it's going to take you to a new screen, and here you're going to see all the different jobs you can sign up for. Again, these are not the true jobs of this meet. These are some of them, but there's going to be a lot more and a lot more opportunities for this. So all you would simply do is, if say you want to be an announcer for that meet, you would simply just click the one button here to fill in this dotted line with your name, and you would click sign up, and then you would put optional contact info, which again, if it's maybe not you personally, maybe it's your husband, maybe it's your wife, maybe it's your swimmer's older sister helping out, whatever it may be, you can type in somebody's name. And then we prefer, if you wouldn't mind, putting a phone number in there too, because again, that just helps us get in contact with them if we need to. If maybe they didn't show up or we need to help somewhere else, we can just give them a heads up ahead of time. It's really that simple. You'll sign up, your name gets put in there automatically, and then you hold that spot. And now let's say you come back another day, and let me just go ahead and sign up for an event really quick. Okay, I'm going to sign up to be the announcer. All right, there I am. I'm all set. I got that. And from my end, I can see who's all signed up already. And let's say, oh, something came up and I can't do that session anymore. You can re-click your name. You just go ahead, remove sign up, and no one ever knew, right? There you go. So real easy in that regard. Okay. Again, like I said, these will typically open up about 2 weeks before we go to our meet. So I will probably open this up in the first weekend of October so we can get things going. I'm gonna take it down right after this because I don't want people signing up for anything yet. Like I said, there's gonna be a lot more jobs, and they'll be also laid out by session time. So like right now you can see this was for a meet, let's say it's coming up on 10/14, right? This is all for basically the Friday night. Again, wrong times, but you'll see exactly what time you'll need to arrive, what time you can expect that you'll be done, how long that shift actually is. And again, you'll see that there's a lot of spots. We do need, like, for instance, 9 timers, at least more like 16 timers per session. So, 16 times 5, you're already looking at 80 people signing up for timing sessions. On a club of 300 people, like that goes through a lot of volunteers very quickly. So there's gonna, like I said, concession stand, there's ways you can physically donate just straight up food like bagels and cream cheese, or you can write a donation check instead. Let me stop there. Let me see if there's any questions. Aaron has a question here. That's a good one. Just to confirm, the volunteer requirement is to sign up for 1 slot at each home meet. Good question. It's actually going to be for 2. So you're going to want to sign up for 2 different sessions. And what you could do is, this is a good point that I didn't mention earlier. If you'd like to, you can husband, wife, duo, whoever's coming, you can have 2 people sign up for the same session as well to count for 2 different sessions. So if one person's working at the timers, as a timer and one person is working at the awards table, that is technically considered 2 different sessions, even though you may be working at the same session. So you could get both done, kill 2 birds with 1 stone, work at the Saturday AM session, 2 different jobs, and you're good to go. But it would have to be 2 different people. We can't have one person doing 2 jobs in one morning. Does that help, Aaron?
Any family member, as long as they're at least 16 years old, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
15 or 16. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you have an older sibling or an older child that would like to help and get some volunteer hours, yeah, that works too.
Awesome. The only job that we do kind of reserve is our lifeguards, because we are looking for lifeguard certifications, and typically those are our high schoolers helping us out that do those. But beyond those, so if you have a high schooler or somebody that is lifeguard certified and able to lifeguard, you can certainly sign up for those, but only if you have a lifeguard cert. Cool. Any other questions there around volunteering with those home meets? All right. So again, you'll see those emails come out. I'm not going to lie, they're like Justin Bieber tickets. They go fast. If you want a good spot, you got to be ready for it. So I will typically post them in the morning. So like just kind of know around that 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock hour, you'll see an email, and people know what they like to do. They know where the most convenient jobs are. So just be jumping on it when you can. Okay. Retro back to a question here that Rachel has about equipment. Is there going to be an event at the pool offered by Elsmore where swimmers? Yes, they can get size for team suits before purchasing one. Yes, that's what's going to happen on November 3rd. Rachel, Elsmore will be coming here physically, and you can get size up for that suit. So it's okay that we don't have our suit for the first meets in October. It's so fine, but if you plan on getting a suit, yes, you can wait until that physical session happens before you buy a suit. Cool. Great. How long does it typically take to get a suit? Usually not too long. The shipping's pretty fast, right? Their main headquarters is over in Minneapolis. So it just blips over to Wisconsin, and then it's usually shipped pretty fast. I would say most of the time it's 7 to 10 business days at max. But we've also had, depends on when you buy it. If you're getting around Thanksgiving time, it usually takes a little bit longer shipping wise. So jumping on it earlier is definitely better. But again, no qualms if you can't get that suit right away for your first meet. Oh, you guys are doing great. Stick with me. We're almost there. All right. So those are our volunteer requirements. Those are for meets. We do have a couple other requirements that come with regards to fundraising. And so one of our biggest fundraiser events is going to be our swim along event. You may have heard of Swimathon. It's very similar, same idea. This is an event that we typically run starting in May, where we start collecting money in May, but the actual event usually happens in early June, late May, depending on where our schedules lay out. The swim along is basically our one big massive event that we are requiring our entire program to be a part of. This is what we use to help us fund for new equipment for each of our pools, to make sure that we have the latest and greatest technology to help these kids win whatever they need. It helps us with meet, travel, all those good things. It helps make sure that we can pay our assistant coaches well and make sure they keep coming back. It just is a great fundraiser that helps us proceed as a club. What we are requiring is that every age group will basically come to the pool, and kind of like your, I think a lot of basketball teams or volleyball teams do like a spike-a-thon or a free throw-a-thon, where they just shoot a number of free throws or take a number of digs or spikes in raising money. And we do it with swimming laps. So our youngest group may swim about, our Super 7s and Bronze swim about 50 lengths of the pool, where our senior kids will swim 200 lengths of the pool. And they go around and we ask for donations based on a per lap basis or a general straight out fund that each swimmer is trying to raise a total of $100. This is a requirement per child. So unfortunately not per family, but per child. And we're trying to raise $100 per kid. If you want to make it a convenient route, cut a $100 check and call it a day. Great. We have a lot of other incentives though for fundraising. So every $25, I believe, Nancy, above the $100 threshold will be $5 credited towards an Elsmore gift card. As that adds up, is it 25 or 50, Nancy? Do you remember?
I think if you want to give me a second, I'll pull it up, but give me a sec.
Yeah, no worries. But we have some incentives for these kids, right? We try, and the more they fundraise, the more they get back themselves. So as they fundraise more, they get more towards an Elsmore gift card to buy new fun things. We have a prize for the top seller every single year, which last year ended up a $300 gift card to Elsmore. So, go buy a fancy new tech suit, all those good things. And then again, just like we have group incentives. So last year I did a incentive with all of Whitefish Bay, where if we met a certain threshold, we'd play a game day all day. If we got another threshold, it'd be a pizza party and so forth. So it's a lot of those fun things that keep them incentivized to keep going out and raising money.
Yeah, last year we did, if it was over 200, you got a $25 Elsmore gift card.
Got it.
If it was between 300 and 400, you got a $40 gift card, and anything over 400 was a $75 gift card. And then the
Nice.
top seller got a $300 Elsmore card.
So lots of great opportunities to get some extra swimming gear for sure. So, and then those kids will come on the day that we do the event. We've often tried to do it as one big, large group when we can. Last year, obviously with COVID, it was just easier to do it at our own site. We are a pretty big program right now, so it might be that same way again, but the kids will come in and they'll swim their, whether it's 100, 150, 200, 75, 50 lengths, the pool, however they want to do it. So it's a fun day for them. We just have a good time. We play music. They get to kick the whole time or swim a lot, whatever they want to do with it. So that is our one major fundraiser of the year. And let's say your kids raise $60 of their $100 requirement. You can expect that we are holding everybody to a $100 threshold. So then there would be an additional $40 bill on your next month's fee. So just keeping that in mind, that we are looking for that $100 threshold of fundraising. We do a couple other fundraisers as well throughout the year. This past weekend, we had our mum sale that was going on that Nancy led over at the community church over in Mequon. We do a growth garden sale. It's open the more northern Ozaukee County area here. Beautiful, it's fantastic garden. For $20, you get a gift card that we get $5 back for the club. You can purchase those. We do other things like a towel sale as well, which we get part of as well. So you can get this really cool blue and orange Oz embroidered towel with your child's name on it. It's a fantastic Christmas gift. That again, those fundraisers help go back to our club as well. A fun thing part of with our swim along as well is that we give 10% of what we create back to Special Olympics. One of our coaches over at Homestead is a founding member over in the North Shore division of that. So always cool to be able to give back.
And those other, the gross sales and the flowers, those are not mandatory at all. Those are just
Correct.
if you like it. But the fun, mainly the volunteering at the swim meets and the swim along that we deem as mandatory.
Yeah, awesome. Great. I'm running out of things to say, which is good for all of us, but I see a couple of good questions here that I want to talk about. Aaron asked a question, typically how often are the home meets? Once per month? No, actually they're more like once per session. So we have like 4 of those across the year. Obviously in October will be our first one here. It's kind of in that first 1A session. That big 8 meet that Nancy talked about at the Peterburg High School is in January, which would kind of fall in that 1B session. Then we have our regional meet, which falls also in the 1B session. And then we have our spring meet, which would fall in that 2A session. So yeah, not once per month, usually like once every 3 months or so. Yep. If we are unable to volunteer for one of the home meets, how do we indicate that and where, when, and should we send the check? Great question. So on that job sign up, I will have a myriad of places where you can just simply, one of the job descriptions will be a $50 donation check. You'll just go on to the job sign up, click one of those spots, and then you can be all good to go. I will actually set it up as a $25 because some people might just want to work one session and donate $25 for the other session. So if you want to intend on giving a $50 check, you would just click 2 of those different job sign up buttons to indicate that you're doing $50. And then you would just simply bring the check to your, to me, yep, as your head coach here, or if you're somebody attending from a different pool right now, you can bring it to Coach Mark at Homestead, Coach Steve at Cedarburg, or Coach Amy way up in Kiel. So bring it to one of the head coaches, your child can bring it in, and we'll take care of it from there. I am kind of our volunteer coordinator as well. So I will be the guy kind of making sure everybody's set with their jobs. I'll be handling all those volunteer checks and working closely with Nancy to make sure we get that all sorted from beginning to end. Swim caps. Yes, those are fun too. Good question, Claire. So Claire, that's a good question. Swim caps, I don't see on the Elsmore Spirit Wear site. Do we need to get one, and how do we get one? First off, I have plenty of Oz caps without names on them that all the kids get for free. They just got to come ask me if they need one. Totally give that out to them. They get a couple for free, and then after that, it's 2 of them that we got to start charging a $3 fee. Typically, kids don't have to get there for a while. So we do offer, however, a name personalized cap as well. These are silicone caps. So typically, what we have is latex caps, kind of like that balloon texture. They're a little bit, I wouldn't say not flimsier, but they have more wrinkles in them. They do the job. They're very durable. But the silicone caps are a little bit more of a thicker material, and they are a little bit smoother across the head. So there's no wrinkles and make you feel a bit faster. But what's really fun about that is that you can personalize your name on there. So you want to put your child's last name on there, their first name, their whole name if it's short enough, right? You can throw that on the side of their cap, and that's always fun. Those are a separate personalized swim cap sign up that we'll send out. Those don't happen regularly. Those are not part of our website. Either Nancy or Coach Steve will send out an email about those personal caps. We try and do 2 or 3 different signups for those a year. They are a little bit more expensive. They are, if I'm not mistaken, I think $20.
25 for 2, I think.
25 for 2. There you go. So 25 for 2. But again, the silicone is a little bit of a more durable material. It'll last longer than a latex cap. So those will typically last a child a whole entire calendar year, if not more. So
last spring we did a personalized cap order, and we did it all on the Elsmore site. So I believe we will be doing that again, and we'll send out information. We're still waiting for a few more people to register, and we just don't want to miss anybody. So we'll probably be doing that in a couple weeks, but just keep your eye out, and we'll be sending that information in an email.
Awesome. Okay, well, I think for right now, I've run out of things to talk about. I think we've covered a lot of what you can expect across the year. If you have any other questions, feel free to pop in right now, drop it into the chat. I'll just kind of wrap things up here by saying again, please feel free to communicate with me. Whether it's something about how practice is going, you want some feedback, you have questions about signing up for meets, you have an issue like you sign up for a volunteer commitment and you can't cancel out of it, or if it's like after the deadline's already passed for the job sign up and something's come up, you just email me, let me know. I'm happy to help you out with that. I'm happy to welcome you guys to practice again. I know it's kind of a weird thought. I haven't seen parents on deck in 18 months, but I'm happy to welcome you guys come and watch. And it's great to know what your kids are doing and in the water. And it gives you some instant feedback on how they're doing and what they're doing, and maybe some things we can do working together with going forward. Looking forward to a great year. If you ever have any questions about anything, something here didn't make sense to you tonight, just again, feel free to reach out to me on my email. Shoot me a text if you need to as well, but I'm happy to help. So if nobody has any other questions, Nancy, do you have anything that you'd like to wrap us up with?
Not that I can think of. I think you've covered a lot. Yeah.
Great. It's a lot of info at once, so I'm sure there'll be much more later on, but I'll go ahead. Our email is our #1 source of communication. So when in doubt, check those emails, read them over. If you have questions about meets or anything like that, those emails are a good place to start for sure. Awesome. All right. Well, under an hour, under 50 minutes. Let's go. Big win. Woohoo. All right. We're going to wrap it up here, folks. Thank you so much for attending. Again, age groupers are off practice tomorrow night, but we'll see you guys again Wednesday. Thank you, and go Oz.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks a lot, you guys. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.